and welcome along to today's instalment of my camper conversion YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be building a bed in this really small little micro camper conversion that I'm doing for a small little Ford Connect little van. I've already done all the panel work, that's already uploaded on my channel. I've fitted windows and sliding doors, and now it's just a case of now building the interior. Now, because it's a short wheelbase, you're really restricted for size inside this. Just the length of the floor going up to the back of the seats is only 160 centimetres. So I've been scratching my head as what's going to be the best way to actually build a bed in here. I was thinking I could do a rock and roll bed down this side, potentially. But as soon as it's stretched out, you'd be blocking the side door. You'd have to have the front seat folded all the way forward as well. And I just don't think that would be the best sort of layout for it. So instead I'm going to be building a side bed with a section along there that goes behind the front seats, and I'm going to try and build it so it's going to have a flip panel that folds forward if you just move the seats forward. It's going to be a similar sort of build as to what I've done in a little Daihatsu Hijet that's just out there. That's it. All of the conversion work for that van is fully documented on my channel, as well as my VW T4, it's also there as well. So there's loads of videos on my channel. If you haven't seen them already, do have a look there. So for this build, as I say, it's going to be a nice sofa bed, L shape. I did some prep work yesterday just by cutting down some of the planks that I'm going to be needing for the actual size, and I've also cut down some foam that I had from some old caravan seats. The seats were in excellent condition, but they were just too thick. They were 8 inches wide, and because of the restricted height in this van, I would have had to build the bed pretty much sitting on the floor to accommodate foam that thick. Because it was so thick, I've just sliced it straight down the middle, just using a bread knife. It's around here somewhere. But just normal standard bread knife, it cuts straight through the foam. So that's going to be the base. I've got the back there, I've got some smaller sections for the side bit there as well. I've cut down some of the timber lengths. I've had to nip out and buy some more because I didn't quite have enough. So there's going to be a little bit more cutting to do. Then it's going to be a case of assembling it all together, just using brackets and supporting braces, securing it to the side wall as well. I'll film it all as we go along, and we'll see what it looks like when it's all finished. So I'm just about to start the construction now. I've just done a little cut out there because this beam is going to be sitting on top of the arch, pretty much at the top there. So I've just made it cut out just so it sits nicely on, rather than having to stick out and then there's going to be a big gap behind it. I've pre-drilled all of these support bars that are going to be going up against the metalwork, just so the wood won't split when I'm going to be putting some screws through into the metalwork, just to be sure that the frame itself is going to be secure. So, drills out, screws out, everything's ready, so let's get constructing. Right, so there we go, there is the basic frame of the bed built. It's all secured with brackets and chunky screws. It's secured either to the flooring or to the actual side wall, either to the ply or actually through the metalwork on the interior metal. So this, if I try and shake it, as you can see, the seat belts are shaking, the van's shaking, the bed's not going anywhere. So as I say, that's another bloody rigorous shake there. That's pretty secure, pretty solid. So now it's just a case of cutting out some ply sheeting for the top. I'm going to have this on a piano hinge so it'll flip up. I'll also have another little panel on the front that'll be able to flip down, just for plenty of access storage for underneath. As you can see, there's going to be plenty of storage under this bed, absolutely loads. I've done it so there's going to be more storage under the main bit rather than the slide at the side bit there, just because it would be a bit more awkward to use that for storage. Now that's still going to be nice enough space there for the entrance, for the walkway as well, and the kitchen should hopefully be only coming out to about there, out to about 40, so there should still be just about enough walkway going through the flooring, similar to how I did with the hijet as well. So now I've just got the ply sheet there, I've just got to do some measurements, get that cut out, and as I say, I'll get it attached with the piano hinges and we'll see how it looks when it's coming along. So the bed's coming together quite nicely now. I didn't bother filming cutting down any of the ply just because, well, it's just cutting ply at the end of the day. But everything's been measured out nicely. This little section here is going to sit on top of the main board here. This main board's going to have a hinge, so that'll be able to flip up just for main storage underneath. And I say this board can either sit on top of that or underneath, but that'll slide out and attach onto where the kitchen unit's going to be there, and it also attaches at the front. It's a very similar sort of bed layout that I've done in this hijet, so if you haven't seen that video, do have a look at that one as well. Now on this, because it's a shorter bed inside, to get a official 6 foot plus bed length, I'm going to have a flip section there just to go where the seats are. This front passenger seat flips forward just for table and cup holders, things like that. And the driver's seat, that'll just have to move forward. I'm going to put this flap on a hinge, and then that'll go back. Obviously easy with two hands, but that'll sit there. I'll put a leg underneath that'll just sit in the footwell behind the seat, and then that itself gives, I think it's around about 6'2", 6'3". So I'm just going to start putting it all together now, and I'll pick it up when it's starting to look pretty much complete. So these are the two just little brackets that I'm using to support the flip over panel that's just there, that you just see me screw onto the sides. These flip up and down in a second. They're instantaneous, they're sprung, hinged, so they just flip straight up like that, and that one that side. I've put them either side of the chair so you can't then accidentally move the driver's seat back and pierce into the back of the seat or anything. You can just move the seat backwards and forwards fine. They just fold down with just a little release there. So again, there's just no problem, but when they're up, they'll lock into place, as you can see. So when the actual ply's on, and the seats are moved all the way forward if you wanted the bed completely flat rather than relying on the backrest on the back of the seat. And as I said, they just fold straight up, lock into place, then the ply just sits on top of them and the cushions just fold straight on top there as well. When you're done, as I say, the ply just flips back over again, release those, and there we go. So there we go, there is the bed fully finished now. Now I've been able to finish off the kitchen unit. That acts as a support for the pull-out slide section. That's the cushions that I'd cut down earlier on. I've put them back in the original covers at the moment. They are removable, so I'm actually going to take them off and give them a good wash before I put them on, before I put the van up for sale. But this is just to show what they look like at the moment, but they're in good condition. It's just, as I say, because they're removable, I might as well take them off and give them a good wash anyway, just to be sure. So the sofa bed, as you can see, it's quite a nice proportioned sofa bed really. If I sit in, and I'm 6'3", and I can sit back, lean back, my hair's brushing there a little bit, but I've still got a little bit of room to get in as well. And as you can see, there's plenty of foot room, leg room, plenty of room to cook in the kitchen area as well. That still just needs a couple of little finishing touches, and then that'll soon be finished as well, so there'll be a video coming soon of how I've built that one. But this is sofa bed wise, it's you could easily sit 5 people around here if you wanted to. And I say 6'3", no problem there. And if I move down a little, there's easily going to be enough foot room there for 2, 3, 4 more people going along. It only takes less than a minute to turn it back into a bed, and then again under a minute to turn it back into a sofa bed again as well. Now, because the dimensions from the edge of the floor going to the back of the doors themselves, it's only 160 centimetres long, the actual floor, and that still doesn't take into account the lean back of the seat if it's in its very final back position as well. So the bed itself's been quite a challenge, just to be able to get something that's going to be suitable, it's actually going to be big enough to accommodate someone like myself above 6 foot. I always try and build any beds or anything that will accommodate myself, and then if they will, then anyone shorter than 6'3", no issues at all. So I'll make this up into the bed and show you what it looks like in the final position. I've got that flap panel underneath there that I put onto the hinge earlier on with the 2 supporting brackets in the front. So to make it up, you just need to flip the front seat forward. I thought I'd clicked it earlier on, I'll just put the video camera down. So with that seat flipped forward, the driver's seat flipped forward as well. You don't need to move it forward, because where it is, if it's in its fully back position, it sort of acts as a backrest for it as well. So you just need to move these cushions, flip up the 2 brackets, flip the panel over. As I say, if you leave the seat in its back position, that almost acts as a supported headrest. If you want it fully flat and supported on the brackets, you just move the seat a little bit further forward and then it folds completely flat. Then the cushions just go straight back down again. And there's the front section done. And then the rear section is just 1 ply panel that slides out and fits straight across. And there we go, there is the bed fully made up. I'll just take my shoes off and I'll show you the example of what it's like when I'm in it. I'll close the doors. And as you can see there, that's me completely flat, completely laid out, just with a pillow position, just there. Take that cushion away. And I say that's just with the board resting on the chair there. If you wanted this board completely flat, you just move the chair forward, then it folds completely flat, and then you can make up the bed however you want really. But you can see there, fully stretched out, plenty of wiggle room still left at the end, no problems at all. So as I say, this is a bed that's suitable for at least someone 6'3", possibly even a little bit taller as well. As I say, there's still a little bit of room at the top there, and if I did fold it completely flat, it does give an extra inch or two there as well. So that's the double bed, and the bed itself is, what is it? I think it's a full metre wide as well, so there's plenty of room. It's full 20 centimetres wider than the bed I did in the Hijet, and that's still a good enough size as well. So I'd say it's turned out quite nice, quite well really. And if I move over just to the side, just to the edge, you can see I'm not even taking, well, probably a third of the bed, so plenty of room for anybody else. So it's a good, comfortable size double bed. And again, just to make it back up again, well, sorry, before I do make it up, I'll just show this. It's quite handy just to have somewhere to actually sit and put your feet down. A lot of rock and roll beds, they'll have a unit going all the way down the side, and then the bed goes all the way along the front, and you've got nowhere just to actually sit up and just put your feet and just sit, make a cuppa, have a wash or whatever before having to then make the bed back up, prepare the van, prepare yourself for the day. So it's always nice and handy just to be able to just have somewhere where you can just sit and just have your feet down and just be able to just sit and wake up type thing. And then, as I say, when you want to put it back together, it's just reversing what you just saw there. So that cushion just goes straight back, the panel goes straight underneath. The panel folds away. And doors just go straight back in the corner. There you go, within another 30 seconds or so, you're straight back to the sofa position. And the sofa's still plenty big enough just to be able to sit and put your feet up if you didn't want to put it straight into the bed position straight away. I say you just use the chair itself as a backrest for whatever position you want. So it's a really, really nice, comfy sort of sofa build that I think has turned out quite well inside the van. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, do hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, have a look at my channel. There's loads of videos on there. I've documented a VW-T4 high top, Daihatsu Hijet, this this Ford Connect, and I've also got another VW coming soon as well. So have a look at my channel, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm always going to be updating it with every single job I do throughout all my conversions. And so if you do give that video a good thumbs up as well, do appreciate it as well. So hope you found this video useful, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video of my camper conversion channel. Thanks for watching. Cheers.